this video. Nice little salamander. Tightening up the beginning. It's right in there. This video is going to be doing the concrete. Just tightening up this beginning so I can do the forms. This is some scrap woods. Some 3/4, 1/2 inch, 1 5/8, 3 inches, 3/2. Some scrap woods. Some of it's already forms, like these ones were already used as forms. I got some more scrap woods. This video is concrete work. Long one here. That one starts right there. It's kind of where the cave-ins would occur, like in front of this, it's really not going to cave in. So I'll be going back, and then once it's all the way back, doing some concrete through here, so I don't get all muddy. This is like clay, so when it gets rainy, it gets muddy. Should be a thin pad at the bottom. I already did slope when I first set those tubes back a 1.5 years ago. So there's slight slope on it, going all the way down. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch, a foot or something. It's not much, but it's enough to drain. You kind of see right there. Horsefly's biting. What do you call it? Tube. So do this like 1.5 inch thick pad. That's a 3-inch tube. 1.5 inch thick pad, and it'll still be 1.5 inches or so below the door. So, and there's a little bit of slope on that tube, from there. Not too much, So it'd be like about maybe 2 inches slope, from there to there. Eventually I'll clear that out some more. But first of all, I just want to do this because this is a cave-in area. So when it rains, it caves in. So that's why this is a priority. I'll be doing a form here, form there. 2 foot tall, pour that, and then move it down. Same thing. And then set the forms back up on top, where it needs it. This first one doesn't really need it, but I might do it anyways. Right in here, I definitely need to do 2 layers. Continuing with the pad and the pad over here, and then build the outhouse and shower. This would be a shower as well. So the house roof water, I'm gonna run over, and power as well from the house. Run over. So this would be a shower as well. And I got a big metal tub up there, like a watering trough for cattle or something. I'm gonna set it up back here and just use it as a tub. So this roof water will go into a tank, to a garbage can, and that garbage can will gravity feed the shower, and the overflow from that garbage can will overflow into the tub, and then the tub will just overflow down into the valley. So that'll be kind of the general plan. I probably only need 1/2, this side of the roof of the main house, because I really don't do too much. This is just the official outdoor shower, in the summer, I don't want to be putting humidity in there, and it's nice and warm outside, so I might as well shower outside. In the winter, I run the fireplace stove, so it stays dry in there, even when I do shower inside. So the inside shower is for the winter, and this is just for the summer. And like right now, I could just cool off in the tub, that would just, every time it rains, it overfills, and cleans itself out, and then I can just take a dip in there. It stays in the shade, so it'd be relatively cool water in the tub, And then I can just walk on concrete to get back inside. You know, I won't get all muddy and dirty. Yeah, so that's this video though. This video is just gonna be the concrete for this outhouse area. Sidewalls and pads. I got maybe maybe 17 bags of concrete so far. You know, not enough. You know, but I can do maybe one set of pours. You know, and then do another run, a couple runs. You know, get another 20, and then do another set of pours. Kind of do it like that. You know, it's a day. You know, of going to town and offloading it. You know, like 8 bags at a time. So that, you know, it was a light load, my last load out of my room, because of bulky items. That's how I managed to park right here. But normally I can only make it like halfway up the driveway. So like right now I'm stuck halfway up the driveway, because I do a load of, you know, concrete, you know, 8 bags, 80-pound bags. That's like 640 pounds, you know. I'm like another, I don't know, 250 maybe. So, you know, pushing 1,000 pounds, you know, when you add some rebars or some lumbers in the mix, you know. It's just too heavy to go up the driveway because it's such bad gravel, you know. I'll be using different gravel if I get around to re-graveling it, but probably won't. Anyways, that's this video, the concrete.
Daniel Borston. He was a historian in the 50s and 60s. He was the Librarian of Congress for many years, I think till 1997. He talked about America as being the product of givenness. And givenness he defined as every society, every generation in American society has received an inheritance from their forebears. And that givenness is something to be enjoyed and then handed down and given as a gift, as a bequeath to future generations. That's something that's always been in the American mind and the American culture.
You know, I think in terms of the policies that we work on in our nation's capital and in the forefront in the last decade, embryonic stem cell research so encapsulates this twisted nature of the human mind and where we've come as a culture, where no longer are we looking to pave the way for our posterity. We're actually even in the womb robbing them of their lives to try and enhance our own.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's sort of a leftist kind of commitment, that you really only want to focus on the living, on the present generation, and not worry about the consequences for those generations that are yet to be born. This is sort of central to Keynesian economic theory, originating in the early 20th century, and it's still sort of marking our culture today. Don't worry about future generations, let's just worry about ourselves.
So to recapture where America's greatness, if you will, this is going to require a shift of our thinking. I think it's rooted, obviously, in our vertical relationship with God, understanding the transcendent nature of His truth, but we need to begin focusing on our children, equipping them with that same truth, with His eternal perspective, and stop allowing the left to indoctrinate our children with what's been happening, and that's exactly what's been happening in our culture.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I mean, I'm a historian, so this is not going to surprise you that I would say this, but American history should be a resource for us as we pursue that very worthy goal. I'm going to read you 2 quotes from 2 very important Americans. One was Samuel Johnson, who was the president of King's College, later Columbia University in the colonial period. He said that the aim of education was to lead students from the study of nature to the knowledge of themselves and of the God of nature and their duty to Him, themselves, and one another, and everything that can contribute to their true happiness, both here and the hereafter. And then Benjamin Franklin said that education was primarily about service. He said, to serve mankind, one's country, friends, and family. men qualified to serve the public with honor to themselves and to their country. History serves us as working for the good of society for today.
So, Dr. Wilson, you make this very practical. What parents, what are steps they need to take, not only benefit them and their families, but literally save freedom in this country?
Be involved in your children's education. That is the most important thing that parents can be doing with regard to that question now. Whether your children are, in public schools, or they're in private schools, or if you homeschool your children, obviously you're going to be involved in their education if you're homeschooling. But no matter what context your children are in their educational process, be involved in what they're learning. Know what the curriculum is that they are engaged in. Look at the textbooks. Read those textbooks and see what your children are being inculcated with. Get to know your children's teachers. Understand what their worldviews are. And also be willing and open to find another avenue for your children's education. It might be to pull them out of the school that they're in. It might cost you some things. It might mean some sacrifices on your part. But to sacrifice for your children is the most worthy sacrifice you can make.
And it's in the history of this country. That is what our founders did. They were looking to future generations and sacrificing on their behalf. Dr. Wilson, good to see you. Happy 4th of July, and thank you for taking time to join us today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, folks, we're going to talk more about this today, but I hope that seed that he just planted will take root in your heart, that we've got to be involved in the education of our children and our grandchildren. And stay tuned. Meg Kilgannon joins us next here on Washington Watch. A lot more straight ahead.
The persecution of Christians grows globally every year and continues to become more aggressive and dangerous. Family Research Council's Leila Gilbert, Ariel Del Turco, and Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin's book, Heroic Faith, shares real and amazing stories from those who have faced doing eternal business. You have realized, and I want to encourage you, not your weird. If your historical lack of realization in this family provokes a bit of grief, lament, let me also encourage you that our God's grace is sufficient.
Wingless.
And that there's no way we can go back
Can't pester me no more. Hopefully the ants will find them.
days that we have not done. We can
So, did my farms with some duct tape and some rocks. Duct tape. Oh, whoops. Let's see. There we go. Get it shoved in there. Just kind of stabilize it. This side. So you can kind of see it right there. It's going out, going angles outwards, about 1/4, 3/8 inch a foot. I like that. It'll help keep it from caving in. So that's about 3/4 of an inch. So it's about 3/8 of an. This is 2 foot. So half of this is a foot. Half of maybe a lizard. Half of 3/4, 3/8, so it's about 3/8 inch per foot sloping down away. Some spacers. I had screwed those from the back. Then just tote screwed, and it's just not even that. Those lower pegs aren't even screwed. Pretty good seal. Hit it with something I'd actually do the pour. Tighten this up with some dirt and all that. Same here. 10-foot rebars, cut into thirds, 3/8 or 40 inches. This one is more or less level. Plumb, I mean, more or less plumb. It would be nice having an angle back, but I'd have to kick the bottom out. Too much to do that. So this pour is going to be from this point over to that point, from that point over to the wall. Let's see. So that'd be kind of the concrete. Got 36. Concrete to concrete. Starting out that way. It does get tighter, 33.5, so it's not going to be exact 36, but it'll kind of, go, it's boostified. This is backwoods. Nothing I do is actually straighten all that. So, it's kind of like a pinch point at 33. I don't think it'll get any tighter than that. I could still get a cart through at 33. 36 is nice. That's kind of like standard. Code-wise, a hallway I think needs to be minimum 36. So it's kind of ghetto, but it works. It's quitting time. Drinking time, actually.
Until he reaches Caesarea. And that is Caesarea Philippi. Well, the scripture doesn't tell us anything else really.
5:19.
Philip until
Tomorrow I'll pour that. I got enough to do that. But that's probably about all I got enough for. I might have a few bags left over. So tomorrow will be a pour, and then after that, like 2 days of just picking up concrete and dropping it off here. 2 days of just getting concrete. I'm not doing any orders. Everything's going to be piecemeal in the car. So, 2 days of hauling materials, and then, so I'm going to reuse these. I do think I can just pull them out, It's a really, it's not a tight fit. I raised these up 8 inches so that the bottom kind of flares out as almost like a little bit of a footing, So the bottom is going to be a little bit, that lower 8 inches is going to be a little bit wider than this rest of it, to act as kind of like a little footing, kind of give it a little more weight. Beautiful.
Religious persecution. Heroic Faith tells of the tragic circumstances Christians face due to opposition to their beliefs. The true stories in this book of faithfulness and devotion, in the midst of trials and danger, will provide encouragement and hope to all who read. Readers will also gather insights into the ideologies behind the oppression, what actions the U.S. government can take to help, and how they can aid these faithful believers. It's important for Christians to learn from their brothers and sisters who suffer persecution. Read the stories of these real heroes who have stood for their faith. You can get your copy of Heroic Faith wherever books are sold, or by going to frc.org/heroicfaith.
here's a moment of hope for your home with Jerry and Becky Trace.
They pray constantly that God will give them a child. So this is 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 10.
In bitterness of soul, Hannah prayed to the Lord and made a vow.
Hannah desperately wanted a baby. God answered her prayer. She followed through with the promise she had made. that was to dedicate her child back to God for his service. Have you as a parent thanked God today for your children? Have you dedicated them to him?
Some children are simply hard to parent, but when you're willing to release them to the Lord, it relieves you of a lot of pressure. God knows each of your children better than you do. Remember, God made them to be in his image. Maybe you should turn them over to him and just see what he can and will do.
Learn more about the ministry of Jerry and Becky Drace, including evangelism with integrity, devotions, articles, and more at hopeforthehome.org. This has been a moment of hope for your home. One of Satan's big lies today is that it's possible to be gay and be a Christian.
When I use the term gay Christianity, I'm trying to define what is this overall movement to try and reconcile the Christian faith with homosexuality.
Stephen Black and M.D. Perkins are on a mission to remind everyone what God says about it.
We see these young people that are getting involved in Revoice and these conferences, these what they call gay Christian. There is no such thing as really LGBTQ plus Christianity.
Right.
You're either a Christian or you're not. Being Christ-like is how we have to look at this theologically and biblically.
God's way is the only way. His truth brings complete freedom. The AFA Cultural Institute brings you God's Truth in the special edition DVD, The Error of Gay Christianity, with Stephen Black and M.D. Perkins. Order it today when you visit resources.afa.net. Welcome back to this July 4th edition of Washington Watch. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure and save me a hot dog and a piece of apple pie and maybe some homemade ice cream. That's one of our big favorites on July 4th. Well, throughout today's program, we're exploring the idea of children, faith and freedom, all right? Faith plus family equals freedom. And kind of using the basis of this from Matthew, the top of the program, where Jesus was, they tried to entrap Jesus by saying, look, here's a coin, Caesar's picture on it. What do we give Caesar? Do we give him taxes? And Jesus looked at the coin and said, whose image? Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. Well, our children bear the image of God, and therefore we must not indoctrination of the state. And then we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But I want to play a clip. This was on CBN's Faith Wire, and it's a pastor, a father out of Connecticut, Kyle Reyes, who is saying, "Look, I'm not going to surrender my kids to these government schools." Play clip 3.
We have a duty and a responsibility as parents to look out for the hearts and souls of our little kids as they are attacked in the spiritual warfare that's happening across the country.
Across America. Joining me now is our own Meg Kilgannon, Senior Fellow for Education Studies here at the Family Research Council. Meg, happy 4th of July.
Happy Independence Day, Tony. It's great to see you.
All right, so we're talking about faith plus family equals freedom. Kind of going back and dissecting today, and kind of our premise is that we got here because we had parents historically in this country going all the way back to the Pilgrims who were focused not on themselves but on their children. And I cannot think of anything more fundamental in equipping our children for the future than education.
It's so true. Made is the journey that many people still make because they have a dream for their family, right? That they want to have a better life and their children to have a better life and be more successful than they are. And as Americans, we've always believed that a huge part of that success is your faith, is your family, and your education. And that education is a pathway out of poverty, out of oppression, and into success and, a good and rich life. And so our children, and when we see it used in a distorted and deformed way, as we see it so often these days, it's really a call for Christians to the educational space and do the best you can to impact that space with our worldview and our values. They're really desperately needed.
And I know our view here at Washington Watch and FRC is that, we want to and communicate truth, and that's what we do here. And when we're talking about the worldview of parents, Christian parents being under attack, in the last couple of years, after COVID, we saw parents pushing back. We saw, and you held school board boot camps at FRC Action, and we saw hundreds of people take those courses school board successfully. But now we're seeing the educational establishment push back in a pretty bold way. School boards, we're seeing state governments restricting the rights of parents. And I go back to the verse I quoted earlier. Our children bear the image of God, and Jesus made very clear that does not belong to the state. And so, give us some of these examples that we're seeing of this brazen effort on behalf of school boards and of states to deny parents what God has given them.
I think the one that comes to mind most readily is the sort of manipulation of public comment period at the school board meetings, because you'll see these clips of parents who go to the school board to make a complaint, a legitimate complaint that 90% of people would agree that this is a problem, and the school board will cut their mic, right, because they are saying something that's inappropriate for the audience to hear, and yet they're reading from a book that's on the shelf in a school library or in a school classroom. And so this kind of attack on parents that is happening at the school board level, but then you see metastasizing all the way up to the Department of Justice, and parents having a threat tag associated with their name, and parents groups being attacked by the Southern Poverty Law Center as hate groups. This attack on parents is because of the battle, the very real battle. It's a spiritual battle, but it's also, we see it right now, right in front of us in the physical world, the battle for the souls of our children. And Joe Biden talks in moral terms all the time about that we're in a battle for the soul of our nation, and
First flies. I love them. Still one today. No rush. Cooking beans. And that's just like, checking on it. Dry beans. That took forever. Ran out of water, so I had to refill the water tank. So just did this one. Some rebars, roughly every 24 inches. Let's see. The concrete didn't have any large aggregate in it. It's just like 1/4 inch minus. So I added some 3/4 inch for my pile. Make each bag go further. So this just took like 5.5 bags. Pretty nice. I did a little bit of a keyway. That's a little too runny to do the keyway in. Really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to call that good on the keyway. And the one thing's popped out right there. I stuck a rock behind it. But otherwise, looking tight, Gave it a little piece of wood at that end to fill in that. Just a little dirt at the bottom. 1 full gallon plus like more or less 1/4 of another gallon per 80-pound bag. Easy peasy. Yeah, so tomorrow will be a light day. Just doing that one's smaller. And I already got beans for 2 days cooked, so tomorrow I'm just making mac and cheese, which is quick. That's it for now.